Every single company wants to protect their products and make it look like everybody loves everything they're creating, even if that's not the case. And now we have Sony owned Crunchyroll completely disabling comments and user reviews in order to reduce harmful content and prevent misinformation. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, there is nothing a company like Sony could do at this point that would surprise me, just disappoint me, and that's exactly what is happening here. People take to social media and to platforms like Crunchyroll and leave comments and leave user reviews because ultimately we want them to do better. Look at something like Star Wars, for example. There have been several series that have been raked across the coals, but people still take the time and effort because they just want Lucasfilm to turn things around and to start creating the content that we all knew and loved and were nostalgic for, but they clearly are not. And now we have Crunchyroll disabling comments and silencing users to, quote, reduce harmful content. This is a Bounding into Comics article I wanted to reference. It says, in a attempt to foster a safer, more respectful, and higher quality environment, Crunchyroll has reportedly disabled the ability for users to leave comments, including reviews across the entirety of their anime streaming platform. Now, of course, Sony basically has a Western anime monopoly at this point because we saw the merger of Funimation and Crunchyroll, and that has not sat well with people. And we were all wondering what the content they were going to put out was going to be like and how it was going to drastically shift, because we do know they have censored things in the past and taken, series off their platforms that they've deemed too offensive. But now we have this to add on top of it, them silencing their users. It says this change was first brought to attention courtesy of a post made by a Reddit user on the unofficial Crunchyroll subreddit, finished an entire episode of a show and made a comment, switched apps, and then came back to the comment section gone. They relayed to their fellow platform users, thought it was a bug, but apparently they've decided to blanket wipe everything. In a support of their claim, they then shared a trio of screenshots showing a conversation they had with a member of Crunchyroll's support team in the immediate aftermath. Therein, the support member can be seen confirming the change, explaining to them to maintain a safe, respectful, and high-quality environment for our community. We have decided to remove all existing comments and disable the ability to comment on our platforms, including comments on new articles. Now, there are several companies and platforms over the past couple of years that have been accused of doing the same exact thing. We've seen user scores suspiciously wiped off of platforms like Rotten Tomatoes. We know that they had changed around their rules regarding which scores popped up first, and now it's verified when it used to be all audience. We also know that there are companies who do, yes, have, social media accounts and Discord servers, but they lock them down, do not give everybody the ability to post, and they try their best to protect their series and their platform by silencing people. And when people are upset, they will find ways to criticize your content, but also you double the amount that they previously would have because you tried to hide their feedback and silence their criticisms, and that is never a good business plan. It's not going to be good when Crunchyroll does it. It's not good when Rotten Tomatoes does it, when companies take to their social media accounts, the official business accounts, and try to lock things down so only accounts they follow or accept can reply. It's ridiculous, and it's only going to make it so people do not trust you even further. Now, of course, it says this change helps us reduce harmful content, prevent misinformation, and improve overall user experience, but you're basically taking away user experience by not allowing people to leave comments. And of course, when you're wiping comments, it means if there's a series that's been on there for 5 or 6 years, I can't go back and see what the initial reception was to. This all is because of review bombing. Companies point to people leaving negative reviews in droves as toxic review bombing. We just saw the same thing with Leslie Headland and The Acolyte, and that's not going to stop. What you are doing is you are taking away the ability for everybody to review your content simply because you don't like the voices of some individuals. And yes, we are very big in numbers and very loud. I completely understand that. But if you were simply hiring people who are making content that most people enjoyed, you wouldn't have to deal with negative reviews being left on your content. But that is not what's happening. Now, of course, as the article says, to the surprise of few, this change has not gone over well with the user base, and as such, unhappy fans have begun to send complaints directly to Crunchyroll via their publicly available support lines. Now, of course, because this was a change that was made relatively quickly and they are already enforcing, it does not seem like they are going to listen to users and roll it back because companies typically don't. They believe they are doing what is right for their platforms, even if everybody is standing against them. And I'd love for them to change directions and reverse course because this is not something I would ever support, but I don't really see them doing this. I don't see them reversing course because we simply said, oh, we do not agree with this. Companies like Sony do not care about what we have to say. They simply care that people are still showing up and buying their products. And of course, Crunchyroll has been under fire for quite a long time at this point, from the merger to also the recently announced price increases come the end of the year. That has not gone over well with people either. So right now, they are in the middle of a firestorm and they're really only making everything worse for themselves. I mean, just a few months ago, anime fans were very frustrated as the Funimation digital copies wouldn't move to Crunchyroll, and you could have spent hundreds to thousands of dollars on your digital library, and you did not end up getting those pieces of content when, of course, they merged finally. And to top all of that off, they were not issuing refunds for your library either, and they never even responded to this. They didn't do anything regarding this situation, so why would we expect them to sit and listen to us now? They clearly believe they are doing what is right, even if most of the people who are on their platform are going against them. Now, of course, at the end of the day, there are other platforms that you can take to voice if you like a piece of content or you don't like Rotten Tomatoes, like IMDb. You can just go to Twitter/X or to a Discord server that you're part of, like our communities, for example. But it's still not a central hub that people can communicate with very easily. It's not like I can just go to the Crunchyroll webpage for the piece of content I want to watch anymore and instantly see the star ratings and skim through comments, which does definitely suck. Now, will they end up changing course? I highly doubt it. Again, they think they're doing what is best for their platform. Only time will tell, but right now things are not going well for them as they have disabled comments and user reviews in order to, quote, reduce harmful content. But that's all that I had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.